Welcome all, Vinod here. This is VINOTH KUMAR. I am going to speak today relating to the agriculture. You might have seen this place, this is our garden, and so by seeing this way you would have identified that I am going to speak about the agriculture. Right now in most of the countries agriculture is considered the backbone. If that backbone is very strong, our country economy will be much stronger than anything. So I would like to let you know here that how we can increase our productivity in agriculture and how we can enhance the farmer's life. So this video is going to give you the knowledge regarding those things, comparing with the China, and China is far better than us in this regard. So I would like to let you know something, that China, what all are they are following and what we can learn the lesson from them. Let us see in this video. Come on. Okay friends, as per the 2000 estimate, in our country the population is around 135 crores and in China it is around 139 crores as per 2018 estimate, and their arable land is around 120 million hectare, and in our country it is around 156 million hectares. So considering this aspect, our arable land is much higher than China. But even though they are far ahead from us in their agriculture receipt, in their agriculture income, even we produce the more agriculture output, agriculture products output, their agriculture income is much higher. This is because they following the different types of policies, and we follow the techniques that for making the agriculture or more or less are same. The point number one, that we are using the same technologies, like comparing with China we are using the same technologies, and hybrid seeds, so high yielding hybrid seeds, like they are also using that and we are also using that, and they are also using the fertilizers, chemical fertilizers, we are also using the chemical fertilizers, and they are also using the like watershed management and irrigation, like irrigation cover. Their irrigation cover is much lesser than us. They are having only 41% and we are having around 48% of our cultivable land comparing with China, but we are having much more irrigation cover comparing with them, but our productivity in agriculture income is much lesser than them. Actually the study says that their agriculture income is much higher because of some of the reasons. I will let you know in this video later. Right now their agriculture output is valued at $1,367 billion and our country's agriculture is valued at just $407 billion. That's it. Just $407 billion, even though we are having the much larger cultivable land comparing to the China, and we are having the cultivable land up to 198 million hectares, and they are having the 166 million hectares only. The cultivable land, they cultivate around only 166 million hectares, but their income is very higher. There are some of the reasons. Let us see. Point number one, they are investing a lot in the agriculture research and development and ACIS, that is agriculture knowledge and innovative system. So they are investing a lot in that to innovate something in fertilizer, to innovate something in agriculture, to innovate something, to innovate a new type of seeds, to innovate a new thing in agriculture. They are investing a lot. See, I just want to let you know one thing. For every, according to Indian condition, if we spend for every million, there is going to be an rupees 11.7 increase in GDP, as well as around 328 people is going to lift out of the poverty. They will get out of the poverty if we spend in the if we give the investment in the research and development as well as the agriculture innovation and the agriculture studies. That is the point number 1. And the point number 2 is, just like that, we are providing the input subsidy to the farmers much higher. But in China, they won't provide the input subsidies, but instead they will provide the direct income. They will provide that amount as an income, amount to the farmers, and they will ask the farmer to invest on their own freedom. They will give their free hands and they will ask the farmer to invest in the agriculture, and they won't put any restriction to grow. They have to grow only this type of crop, they have to grow only rice, they have to grow only wheat, they have to grow only barley. No, it's not the matter in China. There is no restriction. They will give the amount in their hands, and accordingly the input for agriculture, those inputs will left in the free market trade. The free market will decide the prices of the input, and accordingly farmers will use optimally the resources. They will use the input resources very optimal, and they will produce the output according to that, and this shows the efficiency from the farmer's side. So government also had done something. There is no restriction there in the agriculture in China. There is no restriction in trade in China. There is no middleman in China in between the consumer and the farmers. They are regulating very perfectly, but they had also done one mistake by providing high MSP to the farmers. They had learned from it. Actually, they had learned. They had provided the high MSP, and around 300 tons of agriculture products have been stored in their carriage, and this leads to the Chinese large amount of spending in storage. So it's like burning their own hands. Chinese already had burned their own hands, and learning lesson from it, they had reduced the MSP gradually, and automatically this amount has been given to those poorer people in their country. And what happened, if the poorer people get that amount and the restrictions in the agriculture has been released, agriculture product has been released, if it released, the prices of the product will be decided by the market, and the market prices will be given for the particular products. For example, tomato. If the tomato price is around 10 rupees, that 10 rupees will be in the hands of that poor people. By giving if the MSP price is given to that poor, if the same amount has been given to that poor, he can purchase that tomato, and that direct revenue will be get into the farmer's pocket, and this will surely solve the twin problems like poverty alleviation on one side and farmers revenue on other side. It will gradually increase the farmers revenue, and it will gradually decrease the poverty, and we can get a twin problem solved in a single stone. So it's my thing, and China is doing that. Probably they are doing it in a very successful way. So like we can produce we can give our farmers these things in their hands, that direct amount in their hands, and we can ask them to produce in a free way. Like you can produce whatever you want. You can produce wheat, we can produce rice, you can produce barley, anything you want, you just produce it. We can give a free hands to them, and we can make the inputs in a market price. We can left it in a market, and market will decide according to it. And the prices, see, there is something, if the input price is much higher, the output also will be much higher. See, it is only for the temporary thing, but in a long run it will give the efficiency. It will get into balance. So everyone in our country can afford the agriculture product, and there should not be any middleman. There should be a direct linkage between the farmers as well as the consumer. There should be an government intervention alone, like APMC mandis. They should alone regulate the things, and directly they should give it to the people, and they should give the amount that required to the farmers, and they should get that amount from the consumers. And in this regard, consumers must also be in a position to buy anything. So there should be a bipolar economic development as well as the our each and everyone's development, like their employment generation, like so and so. I hope this will happen. And point number 3 that China has done to increase the farmers' confidence that to invest in agriculture will get their profitable amounts is that they had done like agri-marketing reforms. That is a better incentive structure for the agri-marketing reforms. That is a great thing that they had done. Actually, they are far ahead from us in producer support estimate. What is meant by producer support estimate? In this regard, I just want to let you know one thing. The producer support estimate is calculated by input subsidy as well as the farmers revenue, that the output that they are selling in the market and they are getting the revenue. These both are calculated. If that PSC, that is producer support estimate, is in a negative sense. Right now our country PSC is in negative, that is around 5.7%, and their PSC is positive, that is around 15.3%. They are having much more better than us. The reason behind is we are having a complete trade restriction and export tariffs is much higher. So this makes a barrier for the farmers to sell their goods in the market in the highest price and the price which they want to sell. So it must be according to the demand of the market. So right now I just want to say the restrictions in our country for a free trade must be reduced, and it should depends upon the demand of the product, I mean demand of the agriculture product. So there should be a signal. So it will signal automatically, it will signal farmers to produce which product in the agriculture, whether it may be rice or wheat or anything. So it will help them in a long run, and it will increase the efficiency in the long run. So I hope these 3 points will give some insights, like point number 1, to invest in the research and development and agriculture innovation and agriculture studies and agriculture extension. So it will, for every million amount of money spent, it will reduce the poverty. Around 328 people will around get out of the poverty, and rupees 11.7 rupees will added to the GDP of agriculture, so and so. And point number 2, we have to give the input amount to the people directly and without without subsidizing the input. We have to give them a direct amount to them in their hands, and we can let the agriculture inputs in a market, in a free market, and let the price of the agriculture input will decided by the free market. So it will make the farmers to use it optimally, the input will be used optimally, the resources won't go in vain. If we are giving the inputs, but most of the resources are going in vain. That is point number 2. And before giving the amount directly into the hands of the farmer, we should identify the farmer, which farmer will completely invest in it, and who will spend it in some other way. So we should identify them, and we should give them amount directly in their hands, and they should invest it. To make the investor confidence, we should bring the free market regulation, that is point number 3. That is free market reforms, that is a marketing reform in agriculture, so that our producer estimate will increase, producer estimates will increase, PSC will increase, and this will increase our revenue of our country, I mean revenue of our agriculture in our country. So I just want to let you know one thing, that think it of, agriculture is the major thing that we should support, and we should support the farmers too. In this regard, these policies will help it out. As I said, if possible, if government is about to see this video in near future, I hope this video will be a much insightful thing and a much better thing, that they can implement these policies in their law. So I hope this video is much insight to everyone. Share this video with all your friends. And I just want to let you know one thing. If you want to know many of the knowledgeable videos and knowledgeable contents, just subscribe to our Breathe Knowledge channel. And this is Vinodh Kumar. Love you all. Jai Hind.